Good morning. Happy Monday, April 13th. I'm glad that you can join me. So this morning we're going to do Monday morning movement. And this is based on what we do usually Monday mornings with the SAGE individuals at Goodwill. So to start off, we're all going to pretend like we're superheroes. We're going to start by putting our feet wide apart, putting our fists on our hips, our shoulders down and back, and we're going to pretend like we're superheroes. You get to pick which superhero you want to be today. But we're going to aim our heart to the sky. While I do a little bit of a welcome and intro, we're all going to be superheroes and take nice deep breaths down into our belly. Okay, so we're glad you're here. We all just need a nice deep breath, I think. So since some people are joining us from all around, I've invited my family in Missouri to join us, so I'm hoping that Lynn and everybody else is here. So if you are from wherever you're joining us, if you want to put in the comments where you're joining us from, that would be wonderful. Also, I want to let you know while we're doing our superhero pose that I have a conference call set up for people who weren't able to do Facebook Live. So every once in a while you might see me muting or unmuting or talking to the phone, and that's what's happening there. We wanted to make this accessible to as many people as possible. Okay, so, and this is my first Facebook Live, so thank you for your patience and understanding if we have any technical difficulties. Okay, so to get started, so the other part of the intro. So first of all, I'm glad you're here. I thought this would be a nice way to get our week started. It's extra tough and challenging on a cloudy, rainy day here in Columbus, but hopefully this will help get your blood moving, help wake you up a little bit. So a couple things that we want to do. We want to get our body moving, we want to get our blood moving, we want to wake ourselves up a little bit. Hopefully you can make some connections over this video and in the comments a little bit as well. And since I'm so far away from the screen, I'm going to ask Shakira to tell me different comments when it's possible. But anyway, we've got our superhero, so we're going to move our body, we're going to be safe, we're going to have fun. Most of the things I'm going to be doing are going to be done in the chair. That's certainly a safe way for all of us to do it. But if you would prefer to do it standing up, you can do that as well. Also, I'll try to describe to you the different kinds of moves that we're doing, different ways to adapt what we're doing so that you can make whatever version of the movement that fits you the best. So you find what works for you too. Okay, so the plan is I'm gonna lead us in a handful of moves together, and then I'm gonna unmute the conference call and see if I can get some comments from you all about what types of movements you would like to do. If you've been around for our chair yoga and SAGE or other chair yoga that I've done, you may know some of the movements by name that we make up for things, or you could just say, hey, my shoulders need a little movement, that kind of thing. So for now, let's get moving. We're going to shake out our superhero arms. We also like to do popcorn shoulders, where our shoulders go up and down, up and down. Wake us up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to scoot back in my chair. I'm going to raise my hands up to the sky, stretch my feet down and out. Take a deep breath in and see if you can make yourself yawn. Oh. After a little bit of a stretch, you can roll your wrists in circles while your hands float down to your knees. That's one. We call that our good morning stretch. Another version of our good morning stretch, we interlace our fingers in front of our chest. We turn our palms away from our chest. Stretch our hands to the sky. Stretch our feet down and out. Take a deep breath in. And make your neighbor yawn. If you don't have a neighbor in the room with you, maybe you can make yourself yawn. I kind of make myself yawn when I do this. Now let's pretend like we're flicking water off our hands while our hands float down to our legs. All right. One last good morning stretch. You choose if you want to do the one straight up or interlaced. We're going to raise our hands to the sky, stretch our feet down and out, take a deep breath in, and make yourself yawn. And now we'll do raindrops falling down. Okay, so for this next one, we're going to scoot to the front edge of your seat. Put your feet wide apart, flat on the floor. We're going to reach out as far out as we can to grab our oars. We're going to go for a boat ride, and I need help rowing this boat. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab our oars. We're going to lean back and bend our elbows like we're rowing the boat, and then reach forward and pull back. And when we do this one, we sing a song. So we're going to take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. You know this song. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Again, keep reaching. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Woo, catch your breath for a minute. Shake out those rowing arms. So what we like to do, we like to include some imagination as well. So we just rowed our boat into the middle of a beautiful blue body of water, probably much like the water where Brian and Fido do some of their swimming and snorkeling. So our boat is in the middle of this beautiful body of water, and so let's go for a swim. So if you want to, the nice thing about pretend swimming is it's okay, it's much safer. You don't have to worry about getting wet. You don't have to worry about critters in the water. So we're gonna bring our arms up over our head, take a deep breath in, and on 3, we're gonna dive in. 1, 2, 3, dive in. Okay, so now we're in the water and we're gonna go for a swim. Elaine often asks for this. She makes a special request for this move. It's kind of hard. Be careful if you have arms on your chair. We're gonna pretend like we're doing freestyle. Basically, one big arm circle and the other big arm circle. We usually sing a song for this one too. My body lies over the ocean. But I'm not going to sing that one this time, but you guys can sing it if you want. Doing a little freestyle. Okay, and then we're going to pause and reverse. Do backstroke. One arm back and the other arm back. Be careful of your arm rest. Or if someone's sitting next to you, be careful of them too. One arm circle, doing a little backstroke. Okay, we'll take a break from that. And now we're going to do a little breaststroke. We're going to dive forward and circle back. 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 One more. Dive forward and circle back. When I dive forward, I can see some comments. Hi, everybody. Okay, so we did a little freestyle, we did a little backstroke, we did a little breaststroke. Now we are going to pretend like we're swimming like Fido, and we're going to do the doggy paddle. So the doggy paddle is just basically like you're splashing and trying to move around in the water. Front paws, back paws. Swimming like a puppy dog. Usually we have a few people in the crowd who are barking along as we do this. So you can bark along as well from home. The last way we like to swim is we put our hands together so that we can pretend like our hands are a fin or a fish swimming through the water. So our hands going back and forth like we're swimming in the water, leaning from side to side. And then we have to get our fish lips going. Fish lips are a lot like you're blowing someone a kiss. Fish lips. I think that's some good swimming. Is that enough swimming for you guys? I think so. I know if my sister Lynn were here, she would be wanting to do the butterfly. So let's try the butterfly. Since we don't have to do it right because we're not in the water. The butterfly is basically backwards circles with our arms at the same time and then dive in. Bring our arms back, up and over and dive in. Back, up and over and dive in. Back, up and over and dive in. That one's for you, Lynn, doing the butterfly. One more, back, up and over and dive in. Okay, I think that's enough swimming for now. So this next one, though, now that we've finished swimming, it's time to get back in the boat. And usually Richie is the one who says, it's time to climb the ladder to get back in the boat. And usually when we climb the ladder the same number of times as it is the day of the month. So since today is April 13th, we're going to climb the ladder 13 times. And the way we're going to do it, we're going to reach one arm up and our opposite knee up and pull down, and then switch to the other side. One hand and knee and pull down. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, reach up. 3, 4, 5. Are you breathing? 6, 7, 8. Almost there. 9, 10. 3 more. 11, 12, 13. All right. This will be a lucky day for us since we're all starting it together. So we're back in the boat. And this is a point where Lori will often request a special movement. And we sit back in the back of our chair, for this one. We call this one the bicycle. So now that we're on the boat, Lori, one of Lori's favorite characters is Captain Jack Sparrow. And Lori likes to ride a bicycle to chase and see if we can catch Captain Jack Sparrow. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to ride our bicycle. And these are unique bicycles that we pedal with our hands and we pedal with our feet. So we're going to take a deep breath in. Here we go. Pedal, pedal, pump, pump. Pedal, pedal, pump, pump. Pedal, pedal, pump. Pump, one more, pedal, pedal, pump, pump, put on the brakes. A lot of people at this point have squeaky brakes and we go, to squeak those brakes, to stop our bicycle. Okay, now I'm going to unmute our callers in case they have some requests. And if anybody else has any special requests of moves that they would like to do, you can put it in the chat box, and I also have more moves. Okay, anyone on the call have any special requests, or anyone on Facebook have any special requests? I will keep going if people don't have special requests. Okay, so I'm gonna mute the callers again, and we'll get back to doing a few more of the moves that I know people have requested in the past.
All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
Okay, first we're going to do some loosening up of our hands and our fingers. So you can pretend like you're putting a magic spell on everyone around you. You can pretend like you're playing the piano in the air. We want to get our fingers and our knuckles and joints all moving around. We're also gonna interlace our fingers and we're gonna do the wave. We've been practicing the wave. I don't know about you, but whenever I put my hands together like this and I do the wave, there's always one way that feels like the natural way, but we're gonna stop and go back the other way that may not feel like the natural way, but it's a good challenge for our bodies and our brains to go one way and the other way. And I will tell you that after you practice it a little while, it gets easier and it gets better. But when you do this, this is a nice stretch for our fingers, our wrists, our shoulders, our elbows, a little bit into our neck. So we get all those nice and loose. Now we're going to bring our fingers together, our thumb and our pointer finger together. Kind of like you're doing the okay sign. We pretend like we're doing glasses sometimes, but basically we just want to stretch and wake up our fingers. We're going to move our thumb to our middle finger. We're going to move our thumb to our ring finger. And then we're going to move our thumb to our pinky finger. We're going to shake them out a little bit. Yeah, we want to get our fingers nice and loose. We're also going to, so this next move is one that's often requested by my friend Debbie, and she also does a song with this one, but I'll let you guys do your own version of the song. But we're gonna start off with making our hand look like a stop sign. So this is gonna be a nice stretch for our forearm, our wrist, and our fingers. I'll sing it along with you. So Stop in the Name of Love is the song that we sing. So here we go. Stop in the name of love. I'm not a singer. Before you break my heart, think it over. Then we're going to gently stretch one finger at a time. We've got our stop sign hand up. Our other hand's going to come up and gently pull our thumb back a little bit to stretch our thumb. Then our other hand's going to bring our pointer finger back to gently stretch that finger. We're going to gently stretch our middle finger, move to our ring finger, and move to our pinky finger. I hope you're breathing while you're doing all this. That's the only thing I say is a requirement. You got to keep breathing. Okay, we're going to stretch all our fingers back at the same time. Then we're going to let go of that hand and we're going to let our stop sign hand, our fingers point towards the floor. And we're going to gently bring up our other hand to stretch our wrist back while our fingers are pointing to the floor. Then we're going to let go of our hand. We're going to flip our arm over and stretch our fingers backwards that way. There's all kinds of ways we can stretch our fingers and our wrists. And we're just gonna shake them out, loosen it up, because that arm's all done. We get to do the same thing for the other hand. We're gonna do our stop sign. Stop in the name of love. Before you break my heart, think it over. Anybody remember who sang that song? I bet there are some people who remember that. Okay, now we're gently going to stretch one finger back at a time with our other hand, starting with our thumb, our pointer finger, our middle finger, our ring finger, and our pinky finger. Okay, now we're going to bring all our fingers back together at the same time. I don't know about you, but I feel that quite a bit in my forearm, the bottom of my forearm and my wrist. Okay, then we're going to let go of our stop sign and we're going to let our stop sign fingers point down to the floor. And we're going to bring our other hand up to gently stretch our wrists with our fingers pointing to the floor in that direction. And that stretches the top part of my forearm a little bit. Okay, then we're going to let go of our hand, flip it over, and gently stretch all our fingers back that way. And shake that one out too. All right. I know for me, I'm using my hands a lot more these days on the computer, doing more things like that, cooking good food. So for me, getting my fingers loosened up and my hands loosened up is really, really helpful. Okay, so another thing that we like to do after our fingers are warmed up, I can't think of one person in particular who requests this, but lots of our folks really like this. It's based on an old TV show. Many of you might be too young to know this TV show. It was called Happy Days, and there was a character on Happy Days named Fonzie. And if you know Fonzie, one of the things that Fonzie liked to do is say a. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen up our fingers, roll our fingers into a fist with our thumbs pointing to the sky. We're gonna hold our Fonzie thumbs. We're gonna keep, it helps to keep your feet flat on the floor, wide apart while you do this, while you do most of these actually. So we've got our Fonzie thumbs up. We're gonna take a deep breath in and we're gonna count to 3, and on 3, we're all gonna say a, really loud and long, okay? So this will be something that'll help wake up our voices and our lungs, maybe clear out some things in our lungs a little bit. So we got rolled our fingers in, thumbs pointing up, take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. A. I was not doing that very loud, but hopefully it wasn't too loud in your ear. That was Fonzie doing his A. So the next thing we do is we gently squeeze our thumbs with our fingers open and closed, shake them out a little bit. Then we talk about the fact that Fonzie has some homework to do. And so Fonzie's gonna roll his fingers into a fist, but this time Fonzie has to whisper. He's still gonna say A, but he's gonna whisper it. So we've rolled our fingers into a fist, thumbs pointing to the sky. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And for some of us, it's a challenge to do the whispering Fonzie so he doesn't get kicked out of the library or wherever he's studying. But it's still good practice. Now we're gonna roll our fingers over our thumbs, give our thumbs a little squeeze, and loosen that up. Okay, so we've got Fonzie, we've got our voices warmed up a little bit. Our fingers are nice and warm. So let's go ahead and we're gonna move to our arms a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna scoot back in our chairs. We'll warm up our arms and our legs together some more. Okay, we're scooted back in our chair and we're gonna pretend like we have both our feet and our arms are windshield wipers. I know in Clintonville this morning in Ohio, it was raining. So if you had been out, you would need windshield wipers. We're basically swishing back and forth, swish, swish, swish. If you can, try to keep your legs still, but just have your toes be the windshield wipers while your arms are going back and forth. Some people like to get fancy and do the fancy windshield wipers that go out at the same time and in at the same time. You can do that. You can do slow motion windshield wipers. You can do fast windshield wipers. My feet get kind of off track there. You can also do opposite, feet one way, hands the other way. That turns into kind of a brain challenge as well. Let's bounce our toes on the floor and our hands on our knees to loosen up the windshield wipers a little bit. Very good.
I
Okay.
have a request when you're ready to.
Oh, thanks, Kyra. What's your request?
Connie Christie is suggesting to give yourself a big hug.
Oh, a big hug. Okay, so I just got a request from our call. Connie Crucky is my mom, and she and Lynn and my sister Lynn are doing this from Missouri. So they just requested a big hug. So I think that sounds like a perfect way to use our arms. So I'm gonna combine the request to do a big hug with one of the moves that we call crisscross applesauce. So the way you do this, you want to make sure you don't have somebody sitting real close to you because you don't want to bump them. But the way we're going to do it, we're going to start with our feet wide apart, flat on the floor, sitting up tall. We're going to reach our arms out as wide as we can. So the first thing we're going to do is crisscross. That means you're going to give yourself a hug. You can pat yourself on the back. You can rock yourself back and forth like that. So that's the first part, crisscross. Then when we say applesauce, what we do is we open our arms up wide and we switch which arm is on top when we come back to give ourselves another hug. That's the applesauce part. Crisscross applesauce. Okay, now we're going to add a little challenge. We're going to start by crossing our ankles. So I don't know if you can see my ankles, but just if you can, you do what you can for this. Cross your ankles. So we're going to keep our ankles crossed through this next round. Our arms are wide apart. Crisscross, give yourself a hug. Applesauce, we're going to open up and switch which arm is on top to give ourselves another hug. And now we're going to set our ankles and arms free. Okay, we're going to do another round. Crisscross, give yourself a big hug. Open up, applesauce, switch which arm is on top. Now we're going to cross our fingers. I don't know if you guys, when you were younger, you used to cross your fingers when you were hoping something would happen. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed. Sometimes we even get fancy and cross double sets of fingers, but really if you can just do one set of fingers, that's good. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed through this next round. Okay, crisscross, give yourself a big hug while your fingers are still crossed. Open up wide, applesauce, switch which arm is on top. And now set your fingers and your arms free. We'll loosen that one up. Okay, we're gonna do one more round of crisscross applesauce. Lynn, I hope you're getting enough hugs in for this one. Okay, this last round of crisscross applesauce, we'll start out with our arms out wide, crisscross, give yourself a big hug. Open up, applesauce, switch which arm is on top. And now this round, if you can, we're gonna cross our knees. That's a little challenging for some people, so if that's a little too hard, crossing your knees is too hard, you can actually put your ankle on your knee, or you can even go back to crossing your ankles again. But most of us are gonna try crisscrossing our legs. Okay, we're gonna keep our legs crossed, and we're gonna open up our arms wide, crisscross, give yourself a hug. Open your arms wide, applesauce, give yourself a big hug with the switching which arms on top. And now we're gonna set our knees and arms free. That's what we call crisscross applesauce. Now I know there are a lot of brain benefits to us crossing the middle of our body, but unfortunately I can't tell you what they are, but that could be good homework for you if you want to look it up and see what the benefits are of crossing your midline. We just like it because we get to give ourselves multiple hugs. So thanks for that request, Mom and Lynn. Okay, so we're also going to Another one that our folks really enjoy doing is we call it knees and flick. So basically, we've got our feet flat on the floor, our palms are on our knees, and then we're gonna pretend like we're flicking water off our hands. Knees, flick, knees, flick, knees, flick, knees, flick. We mostly like pretending like we're splashing water on everyone around us. Flick, knees, flick, knees, flick. One more, knees and flick. That one's kind of a fun one. Okay, another one. So this one is usually a special request by our friend Carl. Carl likes to turn this move into a partner move, but we're gonna do it as a solo move, and it's called the flipping alligator. It sounds complicated and scary, but I promise you, you'll do just fine. So we're gonna start with one arm up to the sky, one arm reaching down to the ground, and it helps to have, like I said, scoot to the front edge of your seat, feet flat on the floor. So you got one arm up, one arm down, and you're gonna bring your hands together in front of you like your hands are the mouth of an alligator. You're gonna chomp your hands together. Then you're gonna flip your hands over, and you're gonna go, one goes up, one goes down, chomp, flip, open, 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 chomp, flip. One more, open, chomp, and flip. So nice job with the alligator, flipping alligator. Okay, now we're gonna stretch. Does anybody know what the name of this muscle on the back of your upper arm is called? We're gonna stretch it. This is called our tricep. We're gonna reach one arm up to the sky. We're gonna bend our elbow so that our hand comes behind our back to give ourselves a pat on the back. Even if you can't reach that far, that's okay. I'm already feeling a stretch in my tricep, so hopefully you're feeling a little bit of a stretch just by sitting like this, by giving yourself a pat on the back. If you can, to give yourself an even better stretch back here, you can put your hand on top of your elbow and just bring your tricep and your arm just a little bit closer to your ear. You don't have to do anything don't do anything painful. Just get a little stretch and breathe while you're sitting here holding your elbow. We're gonna unwind our arms, shake them out. I don't know, can you feel that in your tricep a little bit? I know my tricep got a little warmed up doing that. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with my other arm. Reach towards the sky, bend my elbow so I can give myself a pat on the back. Take a nice deep breath. Bring your other hand up to your elbow to gently give it a little bit more of a stretch towards your ear or towards your back, whatever you need. And a nice deep breath. When you breathe out, you can unwind your arms and shake those out. Now that our triceps are nice and stretched, we also like to pretend like our hands and arms are wings. So first of all, we start with really small wings. We cross our thumbs and have our fingers pretend like they're wings. Sometimes people say this is like a butterfly wings. Open and close with those fingers. You can shake those out. Then we get a little bit bigger and we move our thumbs to our armpits because now our elbows are gonna be wings. Some of our folks say these look like turkey wings and some say chicken wings. So if you're a fan of doing the chicken dance, now's your time. We got our chicken wings going up and down. Okay, you can unhook your thumbs, shake those out. Then you can put your hands gently behind your head or your neck. So your elbows are kind of sticking out away from your ears. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna gently, while you're sitting, you wanna stay sitting up tall and looking forward. You're gonna bring your elbows together and apart, together and apart. I kind of think these look a little bit like butterfly wings too, but you can call these whatever kind of wings you want. Together and apart, together and apart. You still breathing? Together and apart. Shake those out. Then our last set of wings that we like to do, our last wing stretcher. Again, be careful of the people sitting next to you or the things that are next to you. We're gonna just keep our arms straight out to the side and slowly bring our wings up together above our head and slowly bring our wings down by our side at the floor. We kind of say this is like an eagle's wing, slowly up and slowly down, slowly up and slowly down. One more time, slowly up and slowly down. Okay, let's put our hands on our knees and just do a gentle bobblehead. Anybody have a bobblehead at home? I used to have one. I don't think I have it anymore. We just want to be gentle with our neck. Let's do a little bit of loosening up our necks now too. We're going to keep our hands on our knees and we're just going to gently take our nose towards our chest. We're going to stay sitting up tall. We're just stretching our neck. We like to say good morning to our belly button. Good morning, belly button. Oh, while I'm here, I want to remember. So this week is Spirit Week on Goodwill Columbus Community Facebook page. And I'm wearing my sports team, Team Heart and Soul. It's a local nonprofit in Columbus that helps individuals with disabilities participate in 5Ks and bike rides and even triathlons. So check it out if you have never heard of it before. Okay, we did start looking up again. Now let's do one more time. We're going to say good morning to our belly button one more time. And then we're going to look up. So when we make this move, looking down at our belly button and looking forward, does that look like something to you, like we're saying something? We're nodding our head. Okay. So now we're going to take our chin to our shoulder and we're going to pretend we're basically just kind of sitting up tall, but looking over our back shoulder. Then we're going to bring our nose and chin to the front so that we can go over to our other shoulder. And when we go back and forth slowly with this move, hopefully you can tell it looks like we're doing a slow motion, shaking our head no. I don't know about you, I've got some Rice Krispies snap, crackling, and popping in my neck. So this is a really good way to wake those up. So we did yes, we did no, and sometimes I don't know is the answer to the question. So we raise up our shoulders and put our hands to the side. I don't know. And down. I don't know. And down. So usually when we do this, I ask questions of the group. So, is today Monday? And then everyone answers by nodding their head or shaking their head. Today is Monday. At least the day that we're filming this is Monday. Are you talking to me, Kyra? The snap, crackling, and popping. Yes, it does feel good to get that loosened up. Okay, so today is Monday, and thanks, Kyra. And so the next question, is it going to rain today? Depending on where you are, you may have a different answer, but in Columbus, today the answer is pretty much yes. I don't know if it's done, but we probably. Is it going to rain next Monday? I don't know. Get our shoulders and our hands up for that one. I don't know. Hopefully answering some of these questions will get some of those snap, crackle, and pops loosened up in our necks. Is our next holiday Halloween? No. And usually when I ask a question like that, everybody shouts out the answer of what the next holiday is. I'm not even sure. April, May, Memorial Day? Is Memorial Day our next holiday? We'll say yes. Okay, hopefully everybody's necks and shoulders are nice and loose from that one. Okay. Now we're going to do a little bit with our legs. We're going to scoot back in your chair. And we like to do this one. It's mainly for our legs, but for those people who can't move their legs very well, we also like to add our arms in. So if you want to do it with just your legs, you can. If you want to do it with both your legs and your arms, you can. Or if you want to do it with just your arms, you can do that too. You choose what fits for you. But the way we're going to do this, we're going to sit back in our chair. We're going to stretch our legs out straight. We're going to raise our arms out straight. And we're going to pretend like our arms and legs are a pair of scissors. We're going to open and close. 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 Two more. Open and close. Open and close. Okay, relax. Bounce your toes on the floor, your hands on your knees. Take a deep breath in. We already did the windshield wipers. Normally we'll do that in this position, but since we already did those, we're going to skip the windshield wipers and we're going to do, this one is going to help with our balance. We're going to stretch out our legs in front. And just like before, if you want to do it with just your legs, you can. If you want to do it with your arms and legs, you can. Or you can just do just your arms. And what we're going to do, we're going to point our toes and fingers up. And then we're going to point our toes and fingers down. You might not be able to see my toes because they're all in black, but toes up, toes down, fingers up, fingers down, toes up. So this helps with our ankles, loosening up our ankles, and it helps us with our balance. Okay, toes up, toes down, one more, toes up, toes down. Bounce your toes on the floor, your hands on your knees. We're also, so this one is going to be a little bit of a brain challenge. Sounds like something's going on the phone there. Okay, so we're going to make circles with our toes. So the same thing, we're going to straighten out our legs and we're going to roll our toes. And if you want to also do your fingers and your wrists, we're going to make circles. This also will loosen up your wrists and your ankles, help with balance, making circles. Now try making circles the other way. It's challenging going the other direction. Okay, and now see if you can make your fingers and toes go the same direction one way and the same direction the other way, or together and apart. Oh, there's all kinds of ways, all kinds of combinations we can do with our wrists and our fingers. Generally, you just want to be making circles and loosening things up. I can even feel that in the top, in the front of my calf while I'm doing that. Maybe you can feel that too. Bounce your toes on the floor, your hands on your knees. Okay, the next one, this one is a request from Mara. She, most Monday mornings at Sage, she requests the side bend. So we're gonna sit up tall in our chair. We're gonna put our feet flat on the floor. We're gonna put one hand on the armrest of the chair. If you don't have an armrest on your chair, you can put your hand on your waist or your hip on your side. The other hand is gonna reach to the sky. So you can grab the armrest or your waist. Take a deep breath in. And as we blow out, we'll slowly lean over that arm that's on our hip or on the armrest of our chair. So I don't want you to scrunch way over. I just want you to lean over so you can feel that stretch in your side. There was Gizmo. You can feel the stretch on your side, your ribs. And you want to keep, if you can, keep sitting up tall while you're doing it so you can keep breathing really well. Feeling that stretch in your ribs and your side and your waist. And then take another deep breath and sit up tall. That arm that's reaching to the sky is going to come down to the armrest of your chair. The one that was on the armrest of your chair or on your waist now is going to reach to the sky. We're going to do the same thing going the other direction. Take a deep breath in, reach up, and then as you blow out, we're going to lean over. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. Feeling the stretch in our waist, our ribs, and breathing down into our belly and our lungs. One more, take a deep breath in as you sit up tall. Bring that arm down towards your knees again. Let's do another set of popcorn shoulders. We've been doing a little bit with our arms. When we do popcorn shoulders, we just bounce our shoulders up and down, 2 at a time, 1 at a time. Sometimes we make circles going backwards with our shoulders. Sometimes we make circles going forwards with our shoulders. Sometimes we mix a little bobblehead in. We just like to get everything nice and loose for us. Okay, another little kind of stretch and fun movement that we like to do. We call it floor and clap. Not a very creative name, but the way you do it is you scoot forward to the front edge of your chair, because what we're going to do is we're going to lean over to touch the floor. And now if you can't reach the floor, that's okay. Just lean over towards the floor. You'll still feel a stretch as you do it. So if you can, touch the floor, and when you sit up, we'll clap. Then we'll lean to the other side, touch the floor, and clap. Okay, so we're gonna take a deep breath in, and we're gonna do this one together. Okay, floor, clap, floor, clap, floor, clap. This one's a good one for after the side stretch. Floor, clap. Because we already stretched our sides, this stretches it a little more. Floor, clap, floor, clap, floor, clap, floor, clap. 2 more. Floor, clap, floor, and clap. Okay, so we did a little floor and clap. Our neck's nice and loose. So another one of our favorite moves that we do on Monday mornings, we call it, we blow out the birthday candle, the birthday cake candles. So usually what we do is we think of everybody who has a birthday this month, and we're gonna pretend like we've got birthday cake candles on the cake in front of us, and we're gonna help all the April birthday people blow out their birthday candles. But the way we get ready for this, first we're gonna start by putting our hands together. And I have a feeling this one might be a favorite of my sister Lynn, because we're gonna put our hands together and we're gonna rub our hands together as fast as we can, because we wanna try to warm up our hands, make our fingers and our hands really warm, rub, rub, rub. Once we've got them nice and warm, we're gonna gently put our hands on our heart. Okay, so we're just gonna sit here for a second and feel the warmth of our hands coming through our shirt towards our heart. Now we're gonna keep our hands on our heart. We're gonna take a deep breath in and count to 3, and then on 3, we're all gonna blow all the air out that we can, all the air out, as if we're blowing out hundreds of birthday candles, because there are lots of people who have birthdays in April. So we're gonna keep our hands on our heart, take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, blow out the candles. Shake out your arms a little bit. So after our first attempt to blow out the candles, we discover that we usually do not have them all blown out. So we're gonna do another round. We're gonna start the same way. We're gonna put our hands together and we're gonna rub our hands together as fast as we can to warm them up. Get that blood moving in our hands, warm up our hands. This time, once our hands get really, really warm, we're gonna put our hands on our bellies. And just like we did before, you can even close your eyes to feel the warmth of your hands coming through your shirt towards your belly. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna count to 3. And after first we're gonna take a deep breath in, then we're gonna count to 3. After we count to 3, we're gonna blow out all the air that we can, like we're blowing out candles all the way across the room. And hopefully we'll get them all blown out this time. Okay, take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, blow out the candles. Did we get all the candles out this time? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I think this time we got all our candles blown out. So we got our candles blown out. Everybody who has a birthday in April is going to have a happy birthday because we help them blow out their candles. So I know I have 2 sisters who have birthdays in April. So happy birthday, Mara and Lynn, and everyone else who has April birthdays. So I'm getting ready to take us to one of our last and most favorite, most requested moves. But because the microphone is right next to my voice, I'm not gonna do it as loud as we normally do it when we do it in person. This one's called the lion. There's lots of pieces and parts to the lion, but once you get all our pieces and parts together, we're basically gonna roar like a lion. I'm not gonna do it super loud because I don't wanna hurt your ears, but I want you to make your roar as loud and as long as you can make it, okay? So the first part of the lion, we want big, scary claws, big, scary claws. Then we're gonna open our eyes as wide as we can. Oops, Gizmo's getting ready for the lion right now. Our eyes as wide as we can. We're gonna open our mouth as wide as we can. We're gonna stick out our tongue as far as we can. We're gonna do all those things. We're gonna take a deep breath in and then we're gonna roar, okay? Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. That was good timing, Gizmo. I think we have a groundhog in the backyard. Sorry about that. Leave it. Yes, it's a groundhog. He'll be all right. Okay, so just like we did with Fonzie, when Fonzie had some homework. That's it, Gizmo. All done. Good boy. So just like Fonzie, the lion also has homework. We say the lion goes to the library too. And then, funny thing, we found out there's actually a kid's book about a lion in a library. So who knew? So this time we're gonna do all the same lion moves, but our lion roar is gonna be a whisper. Okay, so let's try that one more time. First, we're gonna get big, scary claws. Then we're gonna open our eyes as wide as we can. We're gonna open our mouth as wide as we can. We're gonna stick out our tongue as far as we can. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna massage our jaw a little bit after that lion. So folks really like the lion. They like the scary part. They like the roaring. They like all that stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed that too. Sorry, we had to let Gizmo out to take care of the groundhog. So that is our Monday morning movement. My hope is that you got some blood moving, you got your joints, your muscles, everything's kind of awake, ready to start your week. We'll be back here again next Monday. You can tell us, since this is the first time we've ever done it, please give us feedback about either the sound wasn't good or it was hard to follow, or let's do more things with our toes, or whatever special requests you might have. I'm really grateful that you took some time to join me today, and hopefully you have a wonderful week. If you're also part of the Goodwill Columbus Community Facebook page, there's a lot of other stuff that's going to be happening this week on this Facebook group. So please stay tuned, because there's lots of other fun stuff happening. Especially noon on Friday, a little virtual dancing at a distance dance party with Victor. So, and I know there's lots of other fun stuff that's going to be planned in the middle of all that. So stay tuned on the page. Take care, have a wonderful week, and stay well, and I'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.